Are men more thirsty for sex, or are women more thirsty for attention?
Women!
Ooh. I think women are more thirsty for attention, honestly.
That is correct.
I think men are more thirsty for sex, I would say.
That also is correct.
Why are men shamed for being thirsty when men are the ones expected to pursue women?
Oh, it's just to test them.
Is that who we think it is? There's only one!
Women, they need to be with a cool guy, so they need to put up a lot of barriers to find that cool guy.
Okay, I think it has to do with how they pursue women sometimes.
What?
I think because of the way that it's done. Most men nowadays aren't very gentlemanly, I guess you could say, about how they approach women. And so it can come off as thirsty rather than courting as, they would do back in the day.
You know what's funny? I feel like this also ties into if a woman is actually attracted to a man or not. Because if they're not attracted, then they seem creepy.
Huh? If men are thirsty and will do anything for sex, how are men not seen as the weaker sex?
Because physically men are stronger, even though women are probably stronger emotionally and mentally.
That is incorrect.
Aren't men more likely to be manipulated through sex?
Oh, yeah.
Men only think about sex, so they're very manipulated.
Women dominate it.
So then why aren't men protected from emotional abuse the same way women are protected from physical abuse?
Because men are idiots.
You stupid.
Emotional is worse? No. Emotional is worse than physical.
It is.
So then if emotional is worse than physical,
Yes, the
wouldn't
men-
men deserve protection more than women?
They would. They should.
But they're not smart enough to fight for it.
Bitch disgusting.
Truth.
Do you think that society is incentivized to keep men sexually frustrated and lonely because sex sells?
Oh, definitely.
Yep. So then why is there so much talk about the exploitation of women, but we don't talk about this exploitation of men?
Why? Because society don't care about men. They care about men's money. They don't care about men's emotional health.
That is correct. That is correct.
How could men not need protection when there's countless liabilities associated when interacting with women?
Well, I think it's the men that don't want to use the protection.
Stupid.
You talking about like condoms and things like that?
Oh, come on
I think
now,
that
dog.
everybody should have protection, both men and women. I think that somebody should create some sort of app or something that everybody can sign when they meet someone out or something, that they're like, okay, this is consent, it's happening, do it before they get drunk, whatever, and then that way everyone's protected.
You smart.
Consent contracts.
I think it'd be a good idea. I'm not going to invent it, but somebody should.
Bitch, I hope the fuck you do.
Why will women speak up on behalf of gay men, but won't speak up on behalf of straight men?
Oh, easy. Because gay men feed their ego. A straight man is going to tell you what it is.
You a genius.
A lot of women want to feel powerful, and so they've created this idea of toxic masculinity, and they won't stand up for straight men because of that. And that's why, because they want to have the power.
Why are men expected to protect women physically, but women won't protect men politically, emotionally, legally, or socially?
Because they think that, I guess, the physical is the most important, and they don't care about the other stuff.
That also is correct.
Aren't women more guilty for doing damage to men in all these categories?
Yeah, but sometimes they don't take accountability.
To this day.
Back in the day, I'm just going to say back in the day because nowadays it's not a thing really, but back in the day it was the man that was supposed to be the one that was the protector, the provider, all of those things, and now that's not the case anymore. At least women have fought for their right to do that equally, and so yeah.
I think men are asked to protect women physically in the sense of don't be the perpetrator of violence. Not necessarily, I don't think any fights, physical fights should happen ever.
If men are seen as violent, why do lesbian relationships have the most domestic violence, while gay male relationships have the least domestic violence?
Because the people that think men are violent ain't really around men.
Yeah.
They just saying that because we look like the harder species. We look like we're killers, we're aggressive, but in actuality, women throw the first lick a lot of times because they get mad more. Yeah. We just react.
Don't women shame men socially? destroy men legally and...
They do. They do, but I think in some cases men do the same thing to women.
Erroneous!
But I think women do it more so than men.
I think that both genders are at fault for like harming each other. I don't think women or men are either, they're probably equally at fault.
If women think men have it so much better in society, why wouldn't women be most of the transgender population?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. That's a good question.
If we need to protect transgender people because of their high suicide rate, why don't we also protect men because of their higher suicide rate?
Because men kill themselves way more than transgenders. And I feel like transgender is a choice. Being a man is not a choice. You were born with it. It's not a choice.
I think that we should protect everybody and work on like broadening the spectrum for helping people like who suffer with mental illnesses of any sort.
If we lived in a matriarchy and a society run by women, would women make laws to protect men?
Nope.
I would hope so.
If so, what would those laws be?
That's a good one.
Things that make you go,
I don't know. I've never thought about that. I can't think of something on the spot.
Well, why aren't feminists fighting for those laws right now?
That would be kind of the opposite of feminism, wouldn't it?
Bro, come
Would that
on now,
prove that
dog.
feminism is against men?
Yes!
No, I think feminism is fighting for women's rights and for women's equality. But it's not against men. It's just trying to fight for equality.
Bitch, you a lie. Bitch, you a lie.
Well, if feminism is about equality, why isn't there equal representation of both men and women's issues?
Why?
Maybe there should be masculinism. I don't know.
Wouldn't that prove that it's not about equality then?
Well, but if men have in the past had more power, more rights, all of those things, then feminism did have to fight to get that equality. And I think as of now, that's still an issue where men are getting paid more and certain things like that. So.
Since men are the ones expected to fight other men, why don't men need protection from men more than women need protection from men?
Because society thinks men are strong and independent and should be able to handle themselves at all times.
And you know this! I feel like a lot of men jump into the situation to help. I feel like it's not really like they're forced to. Like I don't expect somebody to come and help me, but it often is a man who comes and helps me if that would be to happen. Because they're stronger. Like they realize that they can take it on better than I can.
Do you think the rise of lonely, sexless men will affect the number of men willing to step up and defend women?
Agree, yeah.
Why?
Because I think it's because a lot of women want men to go to the end of the earth for them when a lot of women will never go to the end of the earth for their men, let alone their dad.
Man, I need you to tear down the furnace and build me a new furnace because I'm out here heating up on these niggas.
Women don't care about men like that.
So if men aren't getting what they want from women, do you think those men are going to step up and risk their lives to protect and defend women?
No!
Probably because they want to be the Superman. I mean, if I was lonely and wasn't getting anything, I would do something extravagant to get attention or to get someone to notice me.
Come on, man.
Why is a woman any more entitled to being protected and provided for than a man is entitled to sex and intimacy?
Because people don't view it as an equal exchange. It's not like the same thing.
And that's the truth, Root.
Because there's a difference between something that's you require to survive and just wanting to get laid.
If women expect men to pay for sex, why don't men expect women to pay for bodyguards?
Men are not expected to pay for sex.
He's stupid.
I think because sex is a lot more of a physical thing that's actually giving away your body versus, time.
I mean, if a man's supposed to protect a woman, isn't that him giving his body away and subjecting himself to harm?
Yes!
Possibly, but how often is a man really subjected to actually putting themselves in harm, where sex could be a daily thing? It's not like a man's constantly putting himself in harm's way.
If women expect men to pay for sex, why don't men expect women to pay for bodyguards?
Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question. I I feel like because a lot of women think that men are already strong and they're already masculine, so they should already have that masculine figure, so they don't need protection, they don't need nothing but just to being a man.
Don't women essentially just want a bodyguard who pays for everything?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah. Don't women essentially just want a bodyguard who pays for everything?
A lot of women think like that, but they want a little bit more too.
I believe that, I mean, I try to be, have intimacy and all those things for men because I do believe they need those things. I think a lot of women don't do those things for men, but me personally, I try to add that because I know how I feel without the intimacy and all that good stuff. But just having sex.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers.
Dr. Newsom.